Channel. Welcome to my channel. Today is going to be very interesting, and most of you may or may not know me, and that's not even necessary right now. This is what we're going to be talking about today, and it's going to be very interesting. Today, I'm not coming to you as your realtor of Abuja or Moore-Ashimole. No, today I am reporting. I'll be telling you what the real estate industrial market has been like in Abuja in the year 2025, and I'm going to be doing everything together with you, all the searches. That's why there's a screen here. So every search that I'm doing, you'll be seeing it together with me. We're going to do a very plain search, take a look at what it has been like so far, how it started, what it is at now, and it will also give us insight as to how 2026 real estate market will be as well. This is going to be very interesting. And if you're joining live, just when you join live, let me know where you are connecting from. Just let me know where you're connecting from. Comment live and your location in the comment section. And if you have questions as well, just drop it right there in the comment section. All right, so let's get straight into it. Okay, to be sure that I'm in frame and everything is going well. All right, so I think I should just move this back a little bit. Yeah, I think this better. All right, so let's get straight into it. I'm excited about this already. So, like I said, we'll be doing everything together. The real estate industry in Abuja has been very interesting so far. It has been really interesting. This year started off very well, and for those in the real estate industry, there was a lot of smiling for investors and people who bought apartments, people who are into rental income. There was a whole lot of good Abuja, and we're going to be looking at all that in this conversation today. So let's start. Now, like I said, I want to be very look at the search. It's not like I created I created a script in a way to flow to convince you on certain things. I am going to be very transparent with you right here. So let's just jump right into it. And so now, one thing that really happened in Abuja this year is, although the National Bureau of Statistics has not had all these things down yet, but from observation and the things that have happened in different industries, some reports that I've been able to get from certain people that is not available online here, I'll be sharing with us a couple of things. So from what you can see here, it says Abuja's real estate in 2025 is characterized by strong demand driven by population growth. So I'm going to take these three things one by one. As at the last, if you check online now for what the population in the city of Abuja is. Now, this is not the FCT as a whole, I'm talking about Abuja. You will see statistics or information out there will tell you that the population in Abuja is about 4.4 million to 5 million people in the city of Abuja. I think another census needs to be done to ascertain the number of people in Abuja, because almost every day and every week, the population in Abuja keeps increasing. People are relocating to Abuja day after day after day, and this increased the demand for rentals, demand for residences here in the city of Abuja, affordable residence. And this also made a whole lot of landlords, people who have houses, to smile a lot this year, because in Abuja, once a house comes out and it is relatively affordable, before you say before you even say Robinson, someone else has paid for it and is willing to move in. One of the cases right here in Abuja, money was on ground. It was supposed to be, as at the time when negotiations started, I'm just telling you something that really happened. As at the time when negotiations started, it was 7 million naira, right, for a 3-bedroom apartment, a three-bedroom flat in Abuja, somewhere in Wuye, but and it was supposed to be for a year. But because there were close to 7 people that wanted that same apartment at that time, what the landlord had to do was, first of all, I think he moved it up to 8.5 million from 7 million naira. And then after moving it up to 8.5 million naira, I think just one person went off. There were now 6 people still saying, okay, we will pay 8.5 million. Then he now said, you know what, he's not taking 1 year, he's taking 2 years, 8.5, 8.5. What that's 17 million naira, am I right? Yes, for 2 years upfront. And then that was when the other 4 people went off, and then 2 people, eventually one person did. That was how much population growth increased, and there was a need for residences for residences in Abuja. And this was not, according to the report here, it says, especially in emerging areas like Karshi, Kuje, and Lube, within growing trends towards smart and all of that. I need to say something here. So, whilst the internet or information out there is that the population in Abuja, it's about 4 point something million, right? It's important to note that now in places like Karshi, right, Lube, and you hear places like Maraba, the population of the workforce in Abuja, a lot of them stay in that place, in somewhere like Karshi, for instance. Now, Karshi is the place that borders Abuja and Nasarawa, right? So that place, a lot of the workforce in Abuja stays there because the rental or rent price of rent, cost of rent there is very affordable. So people prefer to stay there and then come into the city center for work and then go back. So maybe the population in Abuja sits around that 5 million, 6 million. But during the daytime, the population greatly increases because people on the outskirts of Abuja that work in Abuja but live in the outskirts tend to flock into the city center to work. So you see, the population in Abuja is really dicey. It's very dicey. It's something like it increases in the daytime and reduces in the nighttime because people need to go back to the outskirts where they live and a whole lot of that. So that strongly affected the real estate industry, especially residents and rental income here in Abuja. Lots of people were smiling to the bank and they will smile again in January because these people, of course, some of them came in January and the rent is paid. So by this January now, 2026, a whole lot of landlords are already smiling. Some money, some alert is going to drop. That is going to happen, right? And then the next thing here, it says government projects, right? Government projects. I'm going to stay a little bit on this one because I would want us to actually look at, not just read this, I want us to look at places that government project was active in, because one of the things that greatly affects real estate is projects, infrastructure projects, good projects by the government. Because when things like that begin to happen, properties around that place, land and houses by that, begin to appreciate, the increase in value a whole lot. So in this video, I'm going to also tell you places to look out for in 2026, places you should ensure that you invest in, right? And so under government projects, now let's just talk about a few places. I'm going to mention them first and then we'll search on them together. Now, in this year as well, lots of projects, just between August and this December, a lot of projects have been commissioned by the Minister of the FCT, a lot of projects, roads, light, infrastructure, and all of that. They have all been going on back to back to back. And starting from the year up until now, this has affected different parts of Abuja. I'll take, for instance, a location in Abuja called Wuye. Used to be very not so much affordable. It was just relatively affordable, as it were. But by the time last 2 years, when the Wuye Wuse Bridge was completed, rent price in Wuye skyrocketed, went over 100% higher. And then parcels of land, you started hearing things billions and hundreds of millions for 500 square meter plots and 1,000 square meter plots. They became very expensive just because a bridge was now linking Wuye to Wuse. And Wuse is one of the commercial zones or districts in Abuja that has a lot of traffic, has a lot of people. In fact, Wuse 1 and Wuse 2, it's considered as a place where a lot of business goes on in Abuja. And just that bridge, like I was saying, brought about an increase, over 100% increase in rent in Wuyin. And that's the power, of government projects. And lastly, it says here migration. I've talked a little bit about that as well. A lot of people came into Abuja this year, and not just people, businesses came into Abuja in the year 2025, and that also increased the need for commercial spaces right here in Abuja, because when some businesses moved, they needed to rent a commercial space for in a plaza for the start of their office. Especially a lot of real estate companies came into Abuja in the year 2025, opened up a branch, an Abuja branch. You understand? That happened also in the year 2025. So as you can see, a lot happened in the year 2025, and much more will happen in the year 2026. And the aim of this video is to give you insight a little bit, to let you know what to expect. Like I said in this video, I'm not really coming to you as a realtor telling you this property is for sale, offering you anything to buy. No, I'm coming as a reporter telling you what the real estate has been, industry or market has been in Abuja, and what to expect in 2026. What else here can we look at before I talk about some of the government projects? It says key trends and drives. We're also going to take a little bit at YouTube and see what people have said and about the real estate industry or market here. I keep calling it industry, I don't know why. The real estate market in Abuja. Now let's go on. So talking about, I said I was going to focus on parts of Abuja where infrastructure or development is hitting really hard. So some of you are in the year 2025, somewhere like Karsana, which by the way, before now was all of Gwarimpa, was supposed to be part of Gwarimpa all the way down to Zuba. But now it's a part of Abuja where a lot of good projects are going on. The Renewed Hope by the FCT minister is ongoing right now. Let me just browse that for some of you to see, to know what it's like. The Renewed Hope is a project by the FCT minister to make affordable housing available in Abuja. So let's look at it. So it says here, the Renewed Hope is President Tinubu's National Housing Initiative. Tinubu, not the minister, I beg your pardon. Initiative, the Renewed Hope is an estate program which aims to provide affordable quality homes through large-scale development and all of that. So this project is happening in the Karsana district. So by the start, when this project started, Karsana was not really popular or known to be very, to be a place. It wasn't a place many people considered as a good place to invest for real estate. But on commencing of this project, lots of estates started emerging in Karsana, and I'm still talking about, remember we talked about things that cost, we talked about population, we talked about infrastructure and migration. So this is under infrastructure, under government project. So this project started, and guess what? Right now, Karsana is a place that is increasing, is really appreciating day after day after day. You go there in 2 months, a plot that you'd see that will be selling for, say, let's say, let me use a 150 square meter plot that is selling for, say, 15, 16 million naira. You go there in 3 months' time, you hear it's now selling for 27 million naira, things like that. Because right here in Karsana, for instance, there is a road being created that leads down to these Renewed Hope cities. Fresh road. Infrastructure is going on there actively, right? And it's bringing attention towards that place. And you know how it is, where there are good roads leading to somewhere, everything around that place begins to go up, right? Then there you see So Residence is another real estate project or company that has good projects across Abuja. You see So Residence, you're going to see some by Danga Homes. Different real estate companies are now there because for those that are looking for affordable places to invest in real estate in the year 2026, I'd suggest to you that you look into somewhere like Karasana, because in the year 2025, Karasana did really, really well. Plots appreciated. People who bought land there, their plots appreciated. They gained value from that investment. And those who bought houses as well. Trust me, in the year 2026 and 2027, population growth will grow towards that place. Because Karasana, just by the way, is 18. Okay, I there 3 times and I timed how long it took me to get there. If you're driving yourself, it took me 18 minutes, 21 seconds the first time, the second time, 19 minutes, 28 seconds, and the third time, like 22 minutes. So you see, if you put that at an average of 3 of them, let's say it's like 19 minutes, right? So that's how long it takes to drive from the city center. I drove from Wuye to that place. So you see, it's not so far from town. That means very soon, people who want to stay a little bit closer to Abuja city would definitely consider or move to somewhere like Karsana. People from Kubwa can move to that place, you understand? Instead of going so far. And Karsana has good roads, by the way. The roads are being paid attention to because there are government projects going on right there. Like I said, this is just to give you a report of what the 11 months and 26 days of 2025, what the real estate market has been like right here in Abuja. So something else that another location where projects have been going on and people should look at is Katampi extension. So Katampi extension is a part of, it used to be under the Buhari Area Council, but it was carved out and it's now also has been declared as a diplomatic zone. So that place is another place people should look out for in the year 2026, because in the year 2025, Katampi extension did very, very well. Plots there appreciated very well. People who bought plots there, who bought, and houses are coming up there speedily. The infrastructure, the road construction going on there is going on very, very well. So let me just browse it here so you see us, because I want to be very transparent. So Katampi extension. So as you're watching, I hope you're getting an idea. You're thinking of, okay, where can I put in some money for real estate in the year 2026? So you can actually consider Katampi extension. So Katampi extension is a beautiful part of Abuja. It has beautiful houses, infrastructure, and it's really opening up. So these are like pictures of what the place looks like, right? You can imagine. You can imagine that some people are even comparing Katampi extension to Guzape. That's to tell you, excuse me, I beg your pardon. Excuse me, please. That's to tell you how good Katampi extension is projected to be in time to be compared to places like Guzape. There are a lot of beautiful infrastructure coming up there. And if you're someone you have a good taste, you like high end, you're looking for someone you can really do some high end infrastructure, then Katampi extension is a place like that, because Katampi extension in the year 2025 did really well and will continue to have an upward trajectory in the year 2026. Another place that actually did well again in the year 2025 is a part of Abuja that's very popular. Plots sell out there like wildfire. Is Lokogoma. Lokogoma is not a really highbrow area. It's relatively affordable. It's relatively affordable. So Lokogoma is a part of Abuja that did extremely well as well. And watch the questions that I'm asking. These things can help you as well when you want to make a little bit of research and for a part you should invest in Abuja. You can use this prompt. You can trust Gemini, or you can just call me and I will help you with the research and give you feedback. So you can ask, well, did in the real estate market. So, what just happened? It just generated. It just generated. What just happened? Yes, that is it. So Lokogoma was another part of Abuja that did very well in the year 2025 and will continue to do well in the year 2026. So and these are the reasons why. Oh, why did this disconnect? While I try to connect back my laptop to the screen. So one of the reasons why Lokogoma did very well in the year 2026 is because of steady price appreciation. So Lokogoma is a place where you can easily get houses, affordable rent. That's one of the things that Lokogoma really offers. So when people were relocating to Abuja and are not on the big budget, one of the places they often look out for is Lokogoma because you can find. But in the year 2025, Lokogoma went from getting affordable, where you could find previously you could find three-bedroom apartments and two-bedroom apartments for like, excuse me, you can get two-bedroom and three-bedroom apartments for like 5 million, 6 million, sorry, for like 4 million, 4.5 million. But right now, three-bedroom apartments in Lokogoma, you find a good one, currently sitting at 5, 6 million now. Some even sits as high as 6.5 million naira. Somewhere you could previously find for 4 million naira and thereabouts. So Lokogoma is another part that did very well in the year 2025. And I've mentioned Karsana, I've mentioned Katampi Extension, we've reviewed Lokogoma. Another place that you should also look up for, you should have in mind as well, that did really well in the year 2025 is this part of Abuja called Airport Road. How well? Airport Road did really well, but it peaked towards the ending of the year. So Airport Road started peaking. So Airport Road, this is about Airport Road. So Airport Road is, like the name suggests, this lets you know that it's a place that is close to the airport, right? And this place did well for parts of 2025, from the beginning to like August thereabout. It was looking as though it wasn't peaking, a lot wasn't happening, because something happened also towards August in the year 2025. Let's just find out when that bill was passed. So Airport Road axis is located in the phase 5 of Abuja, and there was a law that was passed, a decree that was passed sometime, that all work should stop in the phase 5 of Abuja this year, so that because they were trying to incorporate it into the master plan of make it FCDA aligned, right? So all projects were asked to stop. So for some time in Airport Road axis, it looked as though it slowed down, but as soon as some parts of the phase 5, where of which Airport Road is part of, as soon as the FCDA approved some of the parts and thoroughly looked at something and put some things in order, guess what? It peaked. It started peaking. So Airport Road, Abuja is another place that did really well. The only time it slowed down a bit when that bill was passed. I don't want to search on it, and it's going to take quite some time. I wouldn't search on it right now, but a bill was passed that all developments, all real estate developments in the phase 5 should stop. But as soon as some parts of the phase 5 was approved, things started going up. One of the projects that kicked off really, really strong is the Hutu project, the Hutu Abuja project that is in the Airport Road. The project picked up really, really fast, and as I speak with you right now, as at the time of making this video, meanwhile, the project, when Hutu came into the market, it started at 3.5 million for a 150 square meter plot. And right now, as I speak with you, it is now 9.3 million naira for a 150 square meter plot. And by the 1st of January 2026, it will be going to 11 point, I think 11 point something, 11.3 or 11.8 for a 150 square meter plot right here. So once that happened, and also some part the building plan was approved for certain places, so it made real estate there just start going up, up, up. So if you're thinking of somewhere to invest in the year 2026, Airport Road has peaked and will continue to peak in the year 2026. So it's another place that in the year 2025 did very well and will continue to do well. And one of the things that made it really do well is affordability and appreciation. So like I said, this year when it started, they started off really low. You could, as at some point, land there for 150 square meters, you could get for 5.7 million naira at the beginning of the year there about, but now it's at 9.7. And nothing was infrastructure and growth. So new roads like the Moore-Ashimole link, the general infrastructure development, boosted areas like Kuji and Kurudi, increasing accessibility and investment potential, strategic location, because it's very close, like the name suggests, Airport Road, proximity to the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport, Centenary City. Meanwhile, the Centenary City is another amazing project right here in Abuja. And then another thing that makes the Airport Road really, really strategic and really good is because it is in between two massive projects. It's not, okay, the Airport Road is vast, right? But the two projects rather, what makes it really good is because it is in between two massive projects, one by the government and one by that is privately owned. Centenary City, privately owned, private sector, and then the City Walk by the FCT, by the minister is going on. So it's just in between two projects that are peaking, that are doing really, really well. And this year as well, over, I can't remember the exact figure right now, but over millions of dollars was invested into the Centenary City to make it develop. I know what it is. One thing about real estate is, it's like, for those who watch football or know anything about football, there's a slogan of a particular Liverpool. Their slogan is never walk alone. I think that's what happens in real estate. Real estate is a never walk alone thing. Because the way real estate is, if this is a parcel of land or a property and other properties are around it, the moment this one starts to do well, automatically every other plot around starts doing really well. They never work alone. So once this one starts going up, other one starts like, brother is going up. Oh, brother is doing well. It means we are going to do well. So because of the amount of infrastructure and development that was going on in Centenary City, other properties and plots around also started coming up. So what that also means is that in the year 2026, the Airport Road axis is another place that will do really well because a whole lot of money is going in that direction. So it's a place to look to right now because plots are still relatively affordable. So if you want to do land, you want to do off land, whatever it is, it's a good place to look at in the year 2026. Talked about strategic location, talked about demand surge. Abuja's growing population fueled demand with many new estates and developments coming up, investor focus. So yes, like I mentioned, something that happened meanwhile, the land reforms, the FCT and the Abuja land reforms that came out last year stated that once you buy a parcel of land that you've gotten your allocation letter and building approval, I'll repeat that. Once you buy a parcel of land, if it's in an area where there's no building approval and you get your allocation letter and you get your building approval, you have 2 years to begin to raise structure on that parcel of land. So that came out last year, and that also brought about, so now for somewhere like Airport Road, I'm still on Airport Road, so for somewhere like Airport Road, it's just recently that some parts of it that the building approval came out, so they have like 2 years to build on and that. And for parts that have not gotten a building approval, if you buy from that place, if you're someone who's looking to land bank, you just want to buy and hold, you can look at places that have not gotten an approval yet, so that whenever that law, that reform will not work against you, right? Because for places now that have gotten this building approval, in 2 years' time, because of they've gotten the approval and buildings start going up, properties around, they will all begin to appreciate. Say investor focus, land banking and projects in these areas, in these growing corridors, promised continuous value growth, attracting significant interest. And that is because, like I mentioned, it's opened up a whole lot in the year 2025. So we are still talking about the we're still reviewing what the Abuja real estate market was like in 2025, and I'll be ending this live pretty soon. And I'll end on this note before I end. Let's look at some places again, some other places. Now let's look at places that you should really, really consider in the year 2025. And one of the ways to do this is by collecting data, look at what people are saying, what the market is saying. So let's just do that together, right? Let's do that together. Okay. So let's use YouTube to do that one. Should be you can still see my screen, yes. All right. Oh, I missed Abuja. See, a lot of information is already out there, and well, anyway, I'll just mention them to you. You can see this is one way. I know you guys already do this. Before you want to buy, you go online, you look at what different places and see what people are saying. I know Esther Jeffanozier. She's a professional in Abuja and someone you can listen, you can trust to get reliable information from. I know Priscilla. I know Jeff and Nozier. So these are people who you can actually watch and get insight as to where to buy. So off the top of my head and from research as well, I've already mentioned some places in the video so far, places where you can buy real estate from in the year 2026. I've talked about Karsana, how because it's opening up the renewed hope cities by President Tinubu, excuse me, that is going on in that axis. It's open the place really, really fast. Karsana, Katampi extension. I've talked about another place I didn't mention to you is Charity Kabusa. So this place is opening up gradually, still very affordable. And yes, if you're someone who is interested in land banking, buying out large plots and holding, you can look at Charity Kabusa, that axis. So we have plots there that currently at 5.7 million naira, started off at 3.5, but currently at 5.8 million naira for a 150 square meter plot, and the prices differ for different plot sizes. So that is another axis you can look at because their land banking can work well because building approvals are not yet out for that place. So when you buy, you can hold, and as you're holding, your land is appreciating, of course. And by the time building approvals begin to come out for that place, it must have appreciated a lot wants to build. So if you're someone who is interested in land axis, Shereti Kabusa, let me just type it here so you can see the spelling. Shereti. And one of the popular projects in that area is Highland City. Highland City, so you can see that on the screen. Highland City is a popular project in that axis. This was 3 months ago. 3 months. This is one I mentioned to you. 3 months ago, it was selling for 4.5 million naira, but currently it's now at 5.8 million now, and it will keep increasing. So it's an axis to look out for in the year 2026. I've mentioned Karasana, Katampi extension, Charity Kabusa, and yes, I think I should mention this part as well. Now, this part is not really in the news, but it is Not very affordable. That is why as well. That's why you're not hearing a whole lot of noise around that area, because it's not very affordable. It looks like it's affordable, but it's not. Excuse me, I beg your pardon. So this place is Dakibu. Dakibu happens to be where I live as well. And I realized that part is really opening up. I took a tour around that district recently. I just went, explored the whole area, and I'm seeing how it's subtly opening up. Plots there are no longer very affordable. If you're coming to buy a plot of say 500 square meters to 1,000 square meters in that axis, you're going to have to spend as high as 65 to 100 million naira. See, it's no longer that affordable to buy a plot there, or 500 to 1,000 square meters. You're looking for 500, yes, 70 something, 80 something million naira, and then 1,000 square meters, you're spending nothing less than 100 to 200 million naira in that axis, and it's subtly opening up. The funny thing about this place is, now this is for those who want to come in high end, because that could be not very affordable. If you want to come in small with a little money, and Dakibu is not quite the place for you. So because Dakibu is in a strategic place. Dakibu is one place I've seen that answers. It's like a woman. It has surnames. So you hear things like Jabi Dakibu, Wuye Dakibu. So because it's closely linking Wuye and Jabi, some parts of it are closer to Wuye, some parts of it are closer to Jabi. So as you can see, it's thriving on the fame of these two places as it's opening up little by little. So if you're looking for a part you can go into high end and make a lot of money, Dakibu is a place you can look at. My TV is gone off again. Anyway, I think I'm done with the screen somehow. So I mentioned Dakibu as a bonus. I've mentioned Karasana Airport Road. I talked about that axis. That is one place you should not sleep on. It's one place you should not sleep on, because in the year 2026, it's going to go boom, 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 boom. It's going to go high. It's going to go up like that, like that, like that. Okay. And finally, somewhere else that you should look out for in the year 2026, it's also very difficult to get plots there. What you see more in these places are off plans is Wuye. Wuye is a place that is really opening up. I mentioned that 2 years ago, the bridge connecting Wuye to Wuse happened, and then everything went up. So Wuye is gradually becoming one of the choicest parts of Abuja, right? If you've watched so far, I hope you've gotten some value. I hope you've had some insight into places to look at in 2026, and you've seen in the year 2025 there was over 150% increase on rentals and the price of properties in Abuja. 2025 did very well, and that upward trajectory is continuing in 2026. Why? Because it's the same government one, and this project will continue into the next year. And as this project gets closer to the completion phase, so does appreciation happen on properties located in that area. And if you're new to the real estate, you're looking on how to start, where to come in, one thing you should know is that be observant of places where development is growing towards. That's not the best places to buy a property, right? Because when you buy early, and before when development fully hits there, you got it early, and you'll be selling at the price of the current development when the time comes. That's the way smart investors, as they call them, that's the way smart investors think and do. Okay, so that's pretty much about it. I'll be dropping a little bit of that. You can hit my channel. If you haven't liked my or followed my page, you can do well to follow. You can do well to follow the page, subscribe, hit the like button, share this. If you have questions, my phone number is in the description of this video. You can call me and ask me. If you want to know some stuff about rentals, I have that knowledge as well. I have a team of people I work with for that, and I'll help you with that as well. For the meantime, this is the much I can report to you for today. I would still do this again as I do more research. I didn't want to procrastinate today. I had researched a little bit. So let's just put this out there, right? I will do some more, and before the end of the year, I will give you another report on what the real estate industry has been like so far, and also give you more insight as to what or places you should look out for in the year 2026. Again, just so you know, also look out for off plans, right? Off plans give you the opportunity to come into real estate with little money and without the stress of building by yourself, but then reap the benefits when the project comes up and being built by professionals. So look out for off plans that you can afford, that have good payment plans. Some have 6 months, 8 months, 12 months, some depending on how serious you are and pushy, you can get 24 months, but of course, they come with interest. So you can actually cash into that as well. There's a whole lot of good that's going to come your way in the year 2024 in the real estate industry in Abuja. So stay ready. If you've been putting money together, you're doing the right stuff. When you're ready, there are a whole lot of us in Abuja that can do you well. And do not forget to do your due diligence on the property, whoever your realtor company. It's very important that you do that. You're looking for, I'm here. If you want me to do a diligence on your realtor, I can also do that for you. I mean, there's enough to go around. The real estate industry here is beautiful, it's magnificent. So, till I come your way the next time, keep being smart with your life and smarter with your investments. And I will see you in the next one. Do have yourself a great life. And of course, Merry Christmas. And I'll come again for the end of the day. But in the meantime, in case you don't watch the next one, a Happy New Year to you as well. Enjoy.